A repeat of last season's final as Manchester United host Newcastle. Manchester United won at Wembley back in February, but go into the game on the back of Sunday's heavy defeat to Manchester City. Eddie Howe is expecting a response at Old Trafford tomorrow, though.
That Manchester United are a top team with top players. They'll no doubt possibly rotate their squad, their team. But that's, again, slightly unclear until we get the team sheet. We won't know. But I think one of the key tests of any team is how you respond to setbacks. So we had one against Borussia Dortmund recently. I thought it was a good response from the group at the weekend in a really good game against Wolves. So I think that's always what you're looking to do when you're in the manager's position.
Can you use what happened in the final last year as motivation going into tomorrow night's match to get Wolves' revenge?
I don't think it's that's not our emotion as I sit here now. Our emotion is just to try and prepare and win the game. One win and we're into the quarter final of the competition, and we loved our run in it last year. We're determined to try and do as well as we can. Despite the fact we do have a few injuries and the squad will be stretched to a degree, we'll still try and be competitive.
All managers say, all coaches say, you want to win every competition you go in for, but it is a long season. You have got a lot of extra responsibilities this year. Where does it feature?
Well, it features right at the top because it's our next game, genuinely. So when we're planning the game and trying to figure out how we're going to win, because that's obviously our intention every time we set out a game plan or select a team. There's no different for this match. Now, yes, we're going to have to utilise our squad in this game. We have another game against Arsenal a couple of days later, and then we go to Dortmund. So to not use our squad, I think, would be really foolish. But that doesn't mean that we don't trust our squad and back our squad to be able to go to Old Trafford and try and win the game.
Well, Newcastle without a number of players. Eddie Howe confirmed Sven Botman has had a setback with his knee injury with no return date as yet. Alexander Isak isn't expected back before the next international break, and Howe admits it's a challenge but provides opportunities for others.
You can have a game where you lose one or two players and suddenly the outlook on the squad and the sort of dynamic of the squad changes. But you just have to roll with the punches. You have to absorb the hits and you have to find a way, and that's what we're going to try to do. So it's not ideal for us, especially with the season we have. Different to last year, totally different feel, where we could maybe absorb those hits a bit easier with the week-to-week games. We're not in that position now, so we're going to need everybody in the squad to step up, and I think that's the key message, is everyone has to give a bit more. And everyone's so important, and I said that pre-campaign, at the start of this year. Every player in our squad has a huge role to play now.
Well, earlier today, we brought you news that Australia has opted against a bid to host the 2034 World Cup, which could mean it takes place in Saudi Arabia. Newcastle are owned by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, and the squad have spent some time in the country.
I think that our trips out there have been to two different places. So I think we've gone to Riyadh and Jeddah, and they were two different experiences, really. Wherever we went was really well organised and we were well looked after. So I think if that's a sign of what a World Cup might look like, then I think you can be rest assured that everything will be structurally really good.